This might just be the best coop ever. Today we're going to talk about the Alumi-Coop. These guys gave me one to try out so that I could share it with you guys. We're going to check it out and see how it holds up to all the other coops that I've tried over the years. So I've got a new mobile coop to check out with you today, but I wanted to do a little bit of review of some of the coops we've worked with over the years. And these are both like chicken tractors for meat chickens and mobile coops for layers. They can be either or. The key here is mobility. And what is the best coop? What's the best thing for you to use? And I want to start off by talking about what is best. Best is like super subjective, right? What's best for me may not be best for you. One person might want the heaviest duty, rock solid thing, no maintenance they can ever get, and they don't mind that it costs a whole bunch. Another person might want something that just slap it together, make it as inexpensive as possible, and that works great for them. One person needs something super light that's easy to get around rough terrain, and they don't mind having netting. Another person needs a totally enclosed coop to keep the animals in. So there's a lot of variations of mobile coops. I'm going to take you through some of the things we've done over the last 20 years and end looking at that Aluma Coupe, which is kind of maybe one of the newest, greatest, best things, and it's worth taking a look at. So we'll check it out. I started with mobile coops with the Salatin style 10 by 12. Super manageable coop, super easy to build, lightweight, low cost, really, really great. And that was a great coop for us for a lot of years. But when we moved up here to North Idaho and the land that we were on, it did not move well across the landscape. It just was very, very difficult to move. And then there were some challenges with storing it during the winter because of the heavy snow load we get here, where we get a lot of snow, but then we also get a lot of rain, and then it freezes, gets super heavy. So we were having a lot of challenges with that style coop. So I just want to start there. That's kind of the foundation when we talk about mobile chicken coops, is the Salatin style. And it's a great coop, and it might be a great coop for you. It just hasn't worked well for us in a lot of the land that we've had. So I started experimenting and looking at other options. Somewhere along the way, I came up with this, what I call Idaho A-frame, which is a standard 10 by 12 base. But I wanted something that I wasn't concerned about weight. I wanted it to move still, but I was mostly concerned about snow load and being able to walk into it. We were having things just collapse under the snow. I didn't want to have to disassemble it every season or several of them. So we built this A-frame, kind of if you're familiar with the John Suscovich model, which is a walk-in, more with cattle panels or pipes and a tarp over it. But again, I wanted something a little more rugged than the tarps. In this case, I wanted a solid metal roof. So we built this thing, I don't know, like 6 years ago, built several of these. And they worked pretty good, but they still had the problem of moving on the land. They solved the snow load problem once I figured out how to engineer them, so I could park them, be done with it, let them go through winter, come right back out and use them. We could also walk into them, so they worked well both for broilers and if we wanted to put layers in here, they work great for that. They work great for turkeys. Good coop, but pretty heavy and still hard to move across the land. So I kept on looking for solutions. Now, if any of you guys have followed Justin Rhodes, he kind of pioneered the chickshaw, which started with egg layers, and we've got one over here, one of the first ones I built, modeled off of Justin's chickshaw idea, and that was a fantastic idea. That all of a sudden got you up off the ground. It's easy to move. It moves across different terrain, hillsides, and really, really good. And then the chickens could still sleep inside at night and have some protection. However, you still needed a netted area for them. That's been a great coop, and that kind of evolved, and I want to give Justin the credit because I think he took from that idea then the kind of mobile shaw and kind of the rolling shelter, which has become something for us that has worked really, really well. I've now modified it to work with chickens, turkeys, pigs, and sheep for all of those situations. Super good mobile situation. Let's go take a look at that. This is the meatshaw concept, and this is my all-around favorite and most utilitarian vehicle for mobile coops, and then on to even mobile animal shelters, but we're talking mostly about mobile coops today. This thing is great. It's lightweight. We could even make it a little bit lighter if we turn some of the material into 1x. You can adjust the height. This one's a little tall for chickens, but it works well. It's super easy to move around. We can get it around our rolling and hilly terrain, and sometimes rough and even kind of rocky. Doesn't cost very much to build. It's super easy. You pick up the feeders, put them on the roof. We have two waters here. We've even got, you can have a water bucket right here just hanging on with a handle. When you move it in the morning, the water's usually pretty low, so it's light. We've even built in water to the back here, and it all moves together. So we're still working on refining this so that we can just pick it up and go. This is my favorite system all the way around. It's pretty foolproof. It doesn't cost a lot, and it will move around just about any terrain. The one downside is that it's not enclosed. It's not like a Salatin style or a Suscovich style where your chickens are enclosed. So the upside to that is they get a little more room to free range. The downside is they might burn a few more calories, so it might take you a little bit more feed, and you don't have the same predator protection. This works for us. We've got electric netting out here. We've got dogs. We just don't have any predator problems, so this works great. If you had high aerial predator problems, I would get geese. The geese are great, but you might need an enclosed style. So that's the one downside to this, but otherwise, this is like my top pick for a mobile coop. This works great. I'm starting to look at experimenting something like this for layers. We haven't done that yet, but how can we turn this into a layer situation for layers being out on the pasture as well, just a little bit lighter and easier to move in and out of than, say, a chickshaw. So my top favorite pick out of any of the mobile coops so far. There's a lot of DIY solutions, but with the popularity of mobile chicken coops, there are some folks that have keyed into the market and have started to provide a pre-manufactured solution. And they've got some pros and cons to them. This is one that we got from Happy Farmer last year. There's a video on that. You can check that out if you want as a full review on this. It's a good coop. It's all aluminum. This thing's gonna last forever. We're obviously not using it right now, so it's sitting in the grass. And we don't have the canvas tarp on it. There's no point to have it getting weathered just sitting here. But if you were to take the canvas top off of this thing every year and put it away for winter, this thing will last forever if you take care of it. It's a nice solid coop. It's all enclosed. There's good protection. Your predators aren't going to generally get through this wire unless it was a big predator that really wanted in. It's got nice roosts in it. You can hang your feeders, your waters. You can do this for broilers, or we had layers in it, so there's nest boxes in there. Really, really nice pre-made coop. Pretty cool. Problem is it's expensive. If you want a pre-made assemble it yourself solution where you don't have to figure out the plans and know how to work with wood and then have some of the deterioration, wood is going to break down a little bit. This isn't going to break down if you don't beat it up or run it over or anything like that. It's going to hold up for a long time. And so we ran this all last year. It's a good coop. It's more expensive of a coop than I'm going to probably buy, but it's also maintenance free and gonna last if you take care of it. I don't know, 20, 30 years, probably forever. It's just aluminum. It's not gonna rust. It's not gonna come apart. The one challenge with it, it's a 10 by 12, which is kind of your standard size for broilers. And it's a little hard to move. I've got a decent little idea here on a lever for bringing the wheel up. So this was a nice iteration. Not bad. You do kind of have to lift the whole weight of the thing, but that allows you to then pick it up. They've got a handle on the door. You can pick it up and move it. It's a little grassed in, so it's heavier. It's not as heavy as it looks like it is right here. The one challenge with this handle, it's a little close. The thing's right on your heels. There's no room to walk. It's got some ergonomic challenges, though it works pretty well. It's a good coop. You can see a full review on it. Has a few ergonomic challenges, and it's just expensive. Okay, and then we have the Alumi-Coop. This thing is the Cadillac of all mobile coops that I've seen so far. It's pretty amazing. A little bit of disclaimer, I did not pay for this. They gave this to us for us to check it out and review it. So we'll talk about price in a few minutes. I thought the other aluminum coop when I got it was pretty cool. This is the step up. It's a really good coop. It's got the things we just talked about, and the other one, it's got a solid aluminum frame. It's a 10 by 12. They make them in all kinds of different sizes and heights. So there's a lot of different options. So this is a 10 by 12. It's kind of made to use for egg layers, so you could run broilers in here. We're running turkeys through here right now. Working great. It's got this nice, I call it canvas. I mean, it's kind of a modern canvas. It's a little plasticky. Works great. You just want to take it off when it's not in use so that it lasts longer. And so just a solid frame, but it's got some features about it that make this much, much more usable. So I just want to show you first the movability. They made something really, really nice as far as engaging the wheels and getting this thing moved. They've got a handle that stays out of the way when the wheels are disengaged so that you can get in and out of the door. It's got a nice latch. Even give it a little wire so you can open it from the inside in case you lock yourself in. But then this handle, when you just lift it up like that, it engages the wheels. It's out far enough that your heels don't get bumped. Pick it up and you move. I've already moved it today, so I'm not going to go very far. And it just moves right back out of the way. That is a really, really nice feature. It makes it really, really easy to move. I will say this one at this size is a little heavy. Not a problem for me to move it or for the adults, but if you had somebody younger or smaller, it is a little hefty. Now, but they make different sizes on this, so this is like one of the biggest ones. So a little bit weighty, but really, really nice to move. Even though it's a 10 by 12, the wheels come up high enough that it's moving pretty good along our terrain that's not as smooth as some places. It's not as nice as the mobile Shaw style, which still remains my favorite, but this is the easiest one to move out of any of them that I've worked with. So they've thought of some nice little details. They gave you a little clip right here to hang your feeders from. You can adjust the height on this. You can move it around. Really simple. It's just really thoughtful in the details there. You know, their feeders got a nice little rope. It's really easy to adjust. It hangs so you can put this anywhere you want to. This is robust enough to hold the weight of the feed. Nice feeder system comes with it. They've got a great water system as well. They've got a built-in tank. Probably adds to the weight a little bit. We try to move it when the water is empty, but that feeds in and it has a little feeder right here. Again, nice little clips. You can adjust the height. You can move this around. This distributes water as needed. Very, very nice system. I mean, this is why I say it's a Cadillac. They've really thought about the details here. We're using this for turkeys. We probably could have a few roosts in here, but we don't. The turkeys they're out most of the time. They kind of come in here to eat and drink and get out of the sun when they need it. But this works great as a mobile laying coop. You can see right here they've got some canvas on the back, so there's a little bit of, and we've got canvas on the side, so you can drop it down, provide a little wind protection, a little more shelter. But they've got a laying box that goes in here where you can collect the eggs from the outside. So that's already all built in. Very, very nice. We just don't have it set up because we're not running layers through here. Maybe next year. And then it also comes with some wood roosts that distribute in here as well. So they've really, really thought of all the details. One last additional detail, really, really cool. You might be wondering what these little legs are sticking out. They have built this so that you can create an electrified perimeter around it for people that have heavier predator pressure. This is great for anything that's going to try to come into the side, super heavy duty, but you still get animals sometimes that come and try to dig in and get underneath things. They've got some trays that can carry a battery. You can mount some solar panels on here, and then you can mount some wire to this. They've got some mount things that connect onto this, and then you can run a perimeter wire around it. So if you don't have the fencing, if you're out in the open and you've got predator problems, that little single electric wire will keep those predators just away from the coop altogether. So that's a really, really nice feature. As you see, this is truly like the Cadillac of mobile coops. It's very durable, it's very functional. They've thought about all the details. It's ready to go. I mean, it's gonna come in pieces and you gotta assemble it, but they've got good directions and you put it together yourself. This thing's gonna last long, long time. Super easy to use. This one's a little heavy, so you need a little strength to move it. However, they do make different sizes. The major downside is the cost. You know, it's just expensive to create something like this. I don't fault Alumi-Coop for it. It takes what it takes to build something like this and to create a ready-made solution. But for those of you that are looking for a ready-made solution, something that solves all the little problems that people have with mobile coops and don't mind the cost, this is an amazing coop. Really, really like it. We're gonna use it. We're gonna keep this one moving. We're also gonna keep our mobile shaws moving as well. That's gonna be our go-to standard. But very, very thankful for this. I wanna thank Bud Miller, who got one of these into our hands. And Aluma Coupe has offered you guys 5% off of any of these coops through the end of 2024. So we get no benefit from that. We don't get a cut of that. There's no affiliate relationship. I just went to them and said, hey, these things are expensive. Can you help us out at all? And so if this is something that interests you, check the link below and go over to the blog post and we'll have some contact info for you to go check them out, go call Bud and see if there's a solution that works for you. So great, great coop. Love it. Gonna use it. If it works for you, check it out.